Quick week. We're on to the Raiders. I'm still burning a little bit from the last one. It was a win, so we're happy about that. But other than that, I think I'll just open it up and let you guys fire away.
What does have you learning about that one?
I never like to finish a game like that and put Patrick in the offense in that kind of situation. Would have been nice to win the fourth down or somewhere along the way, get a stop there. We've been through this. We've actually practiced this a couple of times on purpose. I've put the guys in situations in a walkthrough where I've said, okay, they just scored. If we stop the 2-point play, we win the game. Because, when people score on you, you tend to, and I think our guys were ready to play the play. It didn't work out that way. But, that's what's kind of got me upset.
Well, you taking the effort. Do you feel like it's more of the pass rush, the coverage, or do you feel like it's just
that's a combination of everything. We talked about it at halftime. I thought we'd come out and play it a little bit better. Listen, I'm going to give the quarterback a lot of credit. I thought he played exceptionally well. He looked like a Heisman Trophy winner to me on that day. Now, we could have done some things better. It might have turned out a little bit differently, but he made some throws. We came at him with a couple of things. I give him a lot of credit, so my hat's off. It's hard to win in this league, and everybody that we play against is really good, and we get their best shot. Aside from that, though, we need to step it up and play better, find a way to win one more third down, win one of the 2 fourth downs, which I thought we were close to making, especially in the one on the 4th and 1. In the games, we probably feel a little different.
What is the concern with not being able to generate a lot of pressure without blitzing?
I don't know. It's a lot of different things. We gotta find some one-on-ones. Maybe we can call something a little bit differently. There's a lot of different reasons for it. They tend to block us pass rush wise a little differently, mainly because of Chris. And so we got to figure out those things in the middle of the game. But we just haven't. It hasn't been quite where we want it yet. We got a little ways to go. Hopefully, it shows up this week.
You mentioned Bryce doing a nice job at quarterback. His numbers were really good against your blitz, and I think some of the numbers said you blitzed 40% of the time. You had these really impressive stats. Is that something? Would you do it differently?
I don't think so. I would hope we'd get be a little bit tighter or get there a little bit quicker. I was really impressed with 2 pressures in particular that we brought. Where we got a free runner, but he's a pretty good athlete. He ran away from it. And he made a really nice throw. Sometimes it's hard to make that accurate a throw, and they execute. I tip my hat off to them on, a bunch of number of plays. But there's been games where we've done kind of the same thing and it's gone incomplete.
You mentioned kind of hanging your head. You kind of gave that, like when they score.
Yeah.
It seemed like either the league or the team, I'm not sure which, released Andy kind of talking to everybody in the locker room afterwards, and one of the first things he said was, "Don't hang your head," right? It seems kind of odd when it's a game you won, right?
Yeah, I don't think it was in response to us hanging our head going into a 2-point play. You'd have to ask. I think it was just in general after we won the game. I know defensively, I speak for the guys on defense, we just felt like we should have performed better. We were happy we won. It's hard to win in this league. We're not giving it back, but there's some pride in, we wanted to perform better.
Is that a good thing, though?
I think so. Yeah, I spoke with the guys about that because this is the first time I had them since the game got over. But I believe that the guys in the room that we have defensively have established a standard of how we play defense here in a good way. That's positive. But then when you don't meet it, you should feel that. So I'm glad they feel that way.
You mentioned burning up. How much do you relish sometimes in this scenario? A quick turnaround.
That's a good point. It is. We're right back into it, and away we go. Normally it takes Maria 48 hours to snap me out of it, somehow. But she said, you better get going because you got a game right around the corner. So I guess that is a good thing. Listen, they're the guys that go through it physically. I'm talking about our guys, right? They might feel a little bit differently, but we're ready to go.
What could Justin Reed have done differently on the play at the back?
I don't know that. And the one that I got no answer for that. I'm not so sure. I don't know that I could coach him any differently. It's a physical sport. I better stop there.
Couple more.
How difficult is it to get ready for a Raiders team that's quarterbacks?
Yeah, we're not sure right now, right? In 2 different type of we could see one of 2 or both. We'll prepare for both. We've talked about both of them this morning, and we'll see what happens. We really won't know until. But listen, we have faced O'Connell before, and I thought he did a nice job against us in a number of times. And then we know that Ritter is a athletic guy, and Brian Cook was a teammate of his, so a little bit of insight there, but we'll be ready for both.
We don't
Last
know.
two here.
Okay, we don't know if Charles is going to play this week, but when he does, what will he bring?
Well, length, first of all, and hopefully, we can juice up the pass rush and in the run game and all the things we ask our guys to do. But, I mean, it'll be kind of a slow, because what you don't want to do is throw somebody out there too quick with too many reps and have something go sideways from a physical standpoint. So we'll see where he is, and hopefully we can get some snaps out of him.
Last one.
Hey, Coach. I know Thanksgiving's coming up. Do you have any kind of traditions that you keep for Thanksgiving, and also, what do you tell the guys? Because Thanksgiving is the day before the game. Are you telling them, like, don't eat a whole bunch of food? Or
I stay away from that. I let Coach Reed handle if I said that to these big guys, are you kidding me? Now, we'll talk about how grateful we should be for the jobs we have. No real traditions, other than I think I've worked most Thanksgivings for a lot of years. But it's a great holiday, though, isn't it? Good thing to remember. I won't be saying anything about food, though.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Patrick, we've talked about just 2-minute drill situations. I just wonder, what's your mindset going into those? Is it really like any other drive to you? Do you adjust? Like, what changes with you?
I think more than anything, you just know that you need to go out there and execute at a high level. Coach Reed puts us in those high-pressured scenarios all throughout training camp, OTAs, all stuff like that, and you just go out there and just do what's necessary to win the game. If that's running the ball, throwing the ball, or whatever it takes, and you know what situations get out of bounds, get upfield, everything like that, and you just prepare yourself to go out there and execute.
You seem to be in this last game just a little bit more in a rhythm. Anything that you point to do you feel that way, and anything you point to that maybe led to that?
I mean, I think we're getting healthier as an offense, and then just getting more and more reps with guys. I think as season goes on, you figure out what guys are best at, and the new guys are really showing like what they're great at, and getting D-Hop and one-on-one matchups, getting Xavier, letting him stretch the field, but also work underneath as well. And to add with the guys that I've gotten a lot of reps with, we had a good day offensively, and now it's about building and trying to continue to build throughout the rest of the season.
Patrick, you talked after the game in Carolina about the run you had on that last drive, but you hadn't seen the video yet. I'm just wondering whether you saw anything on the video that maybe you didn't see in real time?
I think I didn't see. I saw the one block that Justin Watson had, but I didn't see him get a piece of the other guy as well. And I mean that made the play and was able to let me get through the gap there. And that just speaks to the effort that he's playing with, doing whatever it takes to win. And you want those guys on the team. And the only thing I would say is probably try not to fumble, switch the ball to the other hand at the end of the play. Even though I told Coach I was fumbling so the clock would run. So if he asked, that's why I did it.
Patrick, what is it about those situations at the end of the game? Because I know people wonder, like, how come the offense just doesn't move down the field like that all the time? What is it about that situation and the urgency that creates those opportunities?
I think it's just a little bit of just being ourselves, being prepared for the moment. Obviously, you want to do it throughout the entire game, but when it's best way to say is do or die time, and you have to make it happen. It seems like guys just go out there and make it happen, and we're prepared for those moments. And Coach Reed prepares us, all the coaches prepare us, and the guys go out there and do what needs to be done.
Coach, what are those preparations like? What is that preparation like in meetings? Like, how do you guys prepare for those specific situations?
We go through those situations every single week throughout the entire year, just so we're ready for the moment, whatever moment arises in the game. If that's certain checks that we could get to, if that's ways that you get out of bounds and the rules and all the different rules of when the clock stops, when it doesn't stop, when is first down more important than getting out of bounds, stuff like that. And the coaches prepare us. And so, like, when I had the run there at the end, knowing that we have 3 timeouts and knowing that even if I get tackled and get the first down, that's probably more important than get out of bounds in that certain situation. You just gotta be prepared for those moments and be able to go out there and execute whenever you get the opportunity to.
Are people, do you think, you played in college, you ran a lot in college, got hit in college, do you sense the defenders are wary of hitting quarterbacks in those sideline situations?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I mean, you get flags for hitting guys when they're out of bounds. But like I said in the San Francisco game, like if I'm running upfield, I feel like you can tell that I'm running upfield versus running out of bounds, and I don't want to put those guys in bad situations. I want to play the game the way the game's supposed to be played, and I didn't feel like I was too close to out of bounds this time. But I'm just trying to find a way to win the game at the end of the game.
There's a phrase, people use the phrase, you never apologize for a win. And the league or the team, I'm not sure which, put out a video of Andy kind of talking to you guys in the locker room. And one of the first things he said was, like, don't hang your head. And it seemed like he was kind of giving everybody a pep talk. Like maybe the mood wasn't what he thought it would be after getting a win in the league. Did you sense that guys were maybe, even though you got the win, like disappointed you didn't play better? Or what was the vibe as you saw it?
I think we just hold ourselves to an extremely high standard. And so unless we feel like we play our best, guys are itching to get back out there and go for more. And I feel like there was times we played some good football. And credit to the Panthers, they played great football and made a lot of big time plays. And we were able to find a way to get a win in the end of the game. And I think it's not something that we were disappointed as much as we expect greatness from each other and from ourselves. And so unless we play like we expect we should play, we're going to strive to be better every time we step in that football field.
Isaiah's been back at it. What would you anticipate in return from him?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be popped, man. I mean, obviously, we're going to have to work him back to when he's ready and then get him when he gets in the field, not try to overdo it. But I mean, he's going to have energy. He's going to want to be on the football field. But I think it's good that we have a good room of running backs that we can kind of not make him go out there and take 30 carries or whatever it is. We can just kind of let him be who he is and make those big plays happen and then bring him along as the season goes.
Coach has always said that he appreciates the locker room leadership. That obviously involves you, Travis, Chris. Given all the injuries and the amount of guys coming in and out of the lineup and essentially in the locker room, do you feel like this has been a more unique challenge for some of the veteran guys? And how do you feel like you guys have been able to try to get the most out of everybody coming in that's very new?
Yeah, I think it's just having a standard every single day. I think you would think it would be a different challenge, but I think with the guys that the coaches have brought in, the guys understand that this is how we work, this is how we practice, this is how we get after it on a day-to-day basis. We're probably in the building more than a lot of teams. We're probably on the practice field more than a lot of teams, but it's a standard that we've kind of upheld, and that starts at the top, and it goes throughout the entire team. And so, whenever you get in these tough times, you know that we've been through this together. We've held ourselves to these standards that we're going to go out there and win. And I'm one of those leaders, but there's many of them. It's not just me. I don't have to talk a lot, honestly, because we have a lot of leaders throughout the entire team that kind of hold themselves accountable.
I know Pete was talking about you getting in a rhythm and everything, but it has kind of been a revolving door with your receivers. You've also got a rookie in Xavier. You know, DeAndre's been here now for a little while. Is that maybe a little bit of it? Is there starting to be some continuity there with you and the receivers, maybe syncing up, getting timing down, that kind of thing?
Yeah, 100%. And I think just us being able to utilize their strengths in the offense and then me being on that same page with them. And the more reps you get of that, the better it is. And obviously you want to get those reps in training camp, but we had injuries and stuff like that. We've kind of had to move through that and work through that throughout the entire season. But I feel like we're getting better and better each and every week, and that's all you can ask for. You want to be playing your best football at the end of the year, and we're getting there. So I think we're getting better throughout the year.
Blair? Just Max Crosby, what makes him so effective?
Yeah, I think the way he plays every single snap, no matter the score, no matter if it's a run or a pass, whatever it is, he's going to give you everything he's got. Obviously physically gifted. He can make all the different pass rush moves, everything like that. But the way he plays, I think, inspires his team to play that hard, and that's what you need to be great in this league.
Last one, Steve.
Patrick, it's Thanksgiving week. I got to ask you, man, start, bench, cut, turkey, yams, macaroni, and cheese.
I mean, I'm cutting turkey. Probably the other two I love. I'll probably start macaroni and cheese if it's made the right way, and then bench yams. But I love those two. It's just like I don't want to get too much into it. Yeah, but the right way. Everybody knows what I'm saying.
Now we asked Patrick just about those 2-minute drill situations.
Yeah.
Can you kind of take us through the preparation of all the different scenarios you guys can face and what that's like?
Yeah, there's a lot of them, and we try to do some of that, during OTAs, talk through scenarios, and I think Coach does a phenomenal job in training camp of trying to play those out as much as you can. There's some different situations that arise, and there's so many elements that go into it with, the situational football part. But I think the other part that's pretty cool is Pat is so good with all that stuff as well. He understands it, so he's always going to give his input in certain situations, and just that combination of Coach and Coach Reed, Coach Blameyer, myself, the other assistant coaches, and Pat try to just be as best as you can.
Is it a challenge in some of those meetings to get the guys engaged? So I imagine that's something those.
Not at all. It's actually not at all, because they all have opinions, So but it's good. I think it initiates conversation, and what I find that's really neat about it, and I don't want to leave out Mike Frazier either. Mike Frazier does a phenomenal job with situational football, and I think everyone knows and remembers last year in the overtime with the rules and stuff. But he does way more than that helping. It's probably day by day as you go through to see where he's at, and there's so much that goes into it. Again, with any player that comes off an injury or that comes to a new team, on top of that, it's going to take some time, and I think you want to make sure that you're making the best judgment for not just the team but for the player too, so that they can excel. So that's a Coach Reed and Brett Veach question, and I'm just excited to see him get out of practice.
Once he does get up and running, what are your expectations for him? What are reasonable expectations for him?
Just to play the way that he's been playing his entire career. I think if you keep it that simple, that's important. And with Wanye and Kingsley and all these other guys that are playing for us right now, just keep improving in practice. But just become a part of what we're doing, and just try to be the best him he can be.
Last
Last week, Coach Reed had mentioned concept simplification. How much do you feel like that might have correlated to the success we saw, especially early in the game on Sunday?
I think it was a big part of it. And you can go through the season and you run into a lot of situations where the volume starts to get a little bit heavy at times, and you're trying to you get into Monday and Tuesday when you're game planning, and you want to make sure you're not giving away tendencies. And sometimes you take a step back and you just say, you know what, let's just let the players play. Let's pull back a little bit and just see what they can do. And I think that's probably what Coach Reed was getting to. It doesn't mean that we're not still being creative. It doesn't mean that we're not still pushing the guys. But I think when you do something like that, how do they react? Do they play fast and do they succeed? And I thought offensively, until those last couple drives at the end of the game, I felt like there was a rhythm, and that was improvement. So we want to keep that going.
Last one, Sren.
You know, you're getting Pacheco back. Just the overall philosophy when you have two guys that, you know, maybe lead caliber, like, you like to ride one and when he's down, go to the next one, or do you believe in a committee approach? Like, what would be ideal if you've got them both at 100%?
Well, the best part about that is that you don't just have one where they're getting worn down to where there might be 50 or 60% in the third quarter. Now you have two guys that are working off of 100%, and they're both really good players with experience that know this offense. So, you know, whether somebody has a couple good, you know, strong runs or a nice catch or a good protection, that's more in-game situationally a feel. But, you know, when they're up and running, we feel pretty strong about who they are and how much they can help us, and we're excited about it.
Thanks, Coach.
No problem.
Thank you. See you guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Hey
What
guys.
was the feeling of the defense after this past game? How did you guys feel, and how do you feel heading into the Raiders game?
Well, first off, wins are hard to come by in this league. So to pull a win off on the road, tough game. Also, areas of improvement we can look forward to. And I think overall as a team, we feel like there's still a lot of areas we can improve on offense, defense wise. So, but also we're grateful that we won the game, most importantly.
You mentioned that, and that's something that the league or the team released the video of Andy talking to you guys in the locker room, and that was one of the things he says, don't hang your head, and you guys said winning's the most important thing. Was there a sense that maybe there was disappointment even though you guys got the win? Did you kind of feel that? It seems like he kind of felt that.
I think week in and week out we hold ourselves to standards individually and as a group wise. I think we always want to be better. But it's never really as good as you think. It's never really as bad as you think when you watch film, right? So it's always areas for improvement. I think as a team we always want to be better. But a win is a win.
You guys got a few sacks and a couple hits in the quarterback. How close do you feel as a pass rush, do you think, from being maybe where you want to be as a unit?
We're right there, man. Just finishing. We're right there. We got a lot of good rushes on film over the weeks, getting close to the quarterback, touching him, hitting him. Pressures, hurries. We just got to get him down.
Anything else?
Anything you've feel like Josh got a little bit more run this last game? Anything you notice about maybe working on with him, giving his speed off the edge?
Listen, man, we just got to continue to rush, be relentless, and rush together. I think we can continue to build from that.
Last two.
We know Charles is close. What will Charles maybe bring back to the lineup in your opinion?
Charles' versatility go inside and out adds another level of depth to our defense, especially D-line. And he's a pass rusher, so it's always good to get more pass rushers on the field and acquire so we can, get the quarterback down eventually.
Chris, you've been playing a while. Does it feel any bit more special to play around the holidays? And also, if you're going for a side, you got your Thanksgiving plate ready, what side are you going for first?
Well, I'm going to answer the first question first. I'd rather just play on Sunday. Not these Thursday, Friday games. Like, not enough rest time, but I get it. We was allocated for this spot. We're the only team playing. But personally, for me, I love my rest. I have a recovery routine throughout the week that my body kind of get used to. So you have to kind of speed everything up. It's challenging at points. My go-to Thanksgiving side is probably mac and cheese or sweet potato,
Last one, Steve.
Chris, this Thanksgiving, gotta ask you, start, bench, cut, turkey, yams, macaroni, and cheese.
I'll start the candy yams.
Okay.
I'll bench the mac and cheese and I'll cut the turkey.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Take care.